10,980 pounds. This is the Eagle 317 rear living outside kitchen here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This is an ideal model for folks who are either going to be parked somewhere or towing and going. It's a very good traveling model. You're going to probably want to be in a 3/4 ton truck or better. We're going to walk inside, learn about her, then come back out here and learn all about the details. So with the slide closed, the 317, it's fairly travel friendly. Now, you don't have 100% access here, but what you can do is you can still come in. You can get to half of the refrigerator. You can get to all of the freezer. Now, there's not like a hard divider inside that fridge. If you open this up right here, you can see that you can kind of reach around. So you can still pretty much pack this, or you can still pretty much get to anything if you have to like stop at a rest stop or something. Now, if you set one of these extra chairs here, you can have a nice little couple's dining arrangement on this side. You are going to have to kind of slip through between the countertop, but you can do it. So if you need to sit down just to grab a sandwich or something, you can. And then, of course, we have access to our bedroom and bathroom. Let's open up those slides and kind of take a look at what she looks like in full-on camp mode. I think one of the coolest things about the 317 Eagle's living room here at Haylett RV is how you can actually get it in a couple different models. This is the exact same living room as the 336 front bath. And really, if all you do is take the bedroom and bathroom and flip-flop them, the 317 and the 336 are the same RV. Now, by flip-flopping that bed and bathroom, you obviously create a different layout with different features and whatnot. It's a little bit longer, it has to be, but it's the same general coach. But just because they're similar doesn't mean that they're interchangeable. Now, here in the living room, that's less true because they're extremely interchangeable in the living room. We're going to kind of work from the top down and learn about this one. And what's neat is most of what I'm pointing out is just Eagle stuff in general. Not so much the floor plan, but just Eagle stuff in general. Starting at the top here, we've got the Whisper Quiet AC system in a big Eagle, actually, and even the Eagle HTs. You've got a 15,000 BTU main whisper ducted AC standard. Now, in these bigger Eagles, we are typically outfitting them with a bedroom air conditioner, a 15,000 BTU bedroom AC at that. So most of these big Eagles we have at our facility are going to be a 30,000 BTU AC system. That's more cooling power than a lot of dual air high profile fifth wheels. Just because they have two airs doesn't mean they're the same. Eagle puts dual max capacities on here. Now this is technically in the mid profile segment, but you've got opposing walk-in slide outs. They've got the same extra tall slides as the big boy fifth wheels. And that's really who Eagle is. They're a smarter, more streamlined, condensed, cleaned up version of the giant fifth wheels. They have near identical, and in a very, in a few cases, they actually have a couple superior edged amenities on these. It's a very, very pound for pound, aggressive, sharp, intelligent product. Like you've got dimmer switch ceiling lighting, you've got dimmer switch lighting within the slide out. They do a lot of extra neat little things you don't typically find out there in the industry. This model right here, you can see you've got your theater seating directly across from your entertainment center. Now, you've got a 50-inch Furrion HD TV that'll come included with this. We simply have our TV shipped loose here at Haylett's. But that matches up with the Furrion entertainment system that's actually hiding behind the upper right overhead, what looks like cabinet up there. The other two are storage. The upper right one, though, is where your entertainment center is located, your entertainment unit, as it were. Because they're all Furrion, they talk to each other, so if you throw a DVD in, or basically if you change the input on the stereo, the TV is going to follow suit because it goes, oh, I know what you're trying to do. I got your back here. Now, what's neat is behind all of this is the outside kitchen. And they really masked it in a way where you don't really lose or give up anything on the inside. And in point of fact, if you actually look behind the TV, you've still got pretty easy access storage back there. And another neat little detail is that Eagle actually runs high-def wiring. They don't just have high-def capable electronics, they actually run high-def wiring, which is something a lot of brands still don't do because it's more expensive, and a lot of customers can't see it and don't know the difference. They use a bigger, wider hide-a-bed back here. And what that allows them to do is two big adults can more comfortably sit on this. And if it's party time and we're packing on the couch, 3 adults, if you're a little bit familiar with one another, you can actually pile in on this thing and you'll be okay. What I do also enjoy is they've got full side stands, and they actually do have household outlets on both of these side stands here. We carry a lot of different brands here at Haylett RV, and something that a lot of brands will all talk about is that they have rear wall mounted power outlets, and that is cool. That's not just a gimmick, that is a very functional thing. But Eagle has really accomplished the same thing here in a different way without having to not laminate a rear wall. There's advantages to almost everything. Everything's a push-pull. But, you know, structurally, Eagles are just tanks. You know, we just don't see Eagles with structure problems here at our store. All of your cabinetry is pocket screwed and glued. This is all lumber core cabinetry, not particle board. If something is pocket screwed, it cannot be particle board cabinetry, because the high pressure air guns these guys use, they would just strip the particle board stuff right out. It's not stapled together. All windows open for ventilation in here too, including that sofa side toothpick window on both sides. I think that's a really key thing to talk about. Now, one question I get, and pardon the little bit of snow I've tracked in here, I'm going to sweep that out when I'm done, but one question I get is, why are they using floor vents? I heard another brand say you shouldn't use floor vents because you can get dirt in those vents. Can you? Yeah, you absolutely can. Now, I've heard a sales pitch, I don't know if it was sanctioned by a manufacturer, but I've heard a salesman say, well, if you have pets and they get hair in there, it could catch on fire and burn the RV down. I challenge anyone to produce one instance when that has ever happened. I've yet to see it happen. I've yet to know a guy who knows a guy who heard about a dude that maybe it might have happened to at a campground. So it's not a practical problem. It's a theoretical scare. It's not a real thing. Why does Jayco put floor vents in here then instead of cabinet ducted heating? And the answer: superior airflow and efficiency. If this is 0 to 100 degree rated, if you are truly interested in cold weather camping, this is the heating style you want to get. Because when you go to cabinet ducted heating in your living area here, you reduce airflow capacity by roughly 37%. Jayco's done some base level testing on that. They're doing additional testing, so they have official publications, but that's their initial number. They've tested builds both ways and found that you lose 37% airflow efficiency. That means extra stress on your furnace. That means less heat into your RV as quickly. You know, it makes a difference. So if you're not interested in cold weather camping, maybe you don't go with one with floor vents. If you are, if you want that full-time protection, maybe this is something you should really be adding to your list. On top of that, you know, we'll talk more about insulation later on here. I want to just kind of cruise through the floor plan. Eagle has a very cool dinette. I think they do one of the best in the industry here, but part of the reason is they spend more money on it. Like that folding chair you see behind the standing chair, they spend more money on that. They also have an easy lift tabletop, very much like a desk. It has an extension leaf on that. So, you know, they've done more things with this, but that's who Eagle is. They are not the dollar cheaper fifth wheel. What they are, though, they are a mid-size fifth wheel, air quote mid-size, because let's not lie to one another, this is a big girl. But this is, quote, a mid-size fifth wheel that has the featured equipment complement of a high-profile fifth wheel. That's who Eagle is, and when you compare it to something like that, you see how Eagle comes out way ahead on the price tag without sacrificing anything. You still have all the same build structure in this that you have in a Pinnacle, in a North Point, the bigger Jayco luxury fifth wheels. You still have all of that here. You still have the same insulation tested rating bundle. You still have the same Goodyear tires. You're just getting it in a smarter condensed package. Maybe 3/4 ton towable versus 1 ton or dually towable. That's kind of what we're looking at here. I do love how they've accomplished this kitchen. This is where it starts to deviate from the 336 front bath. So until you hit the slide, it's exactly the same. You've got the same stainless appliance bundle. We like to outfit these with that 4-door, 12 cubic foot fridge. You know, the bigger fridge on here that's gas and electric. It's traveling friendly. Another little neat benefit of it is that you actually get an extra little bonus drawer below it. And speaking of drawers, all the drawers here in the kitchen living area of your Eagles are residential soft close drawers. So they have kind of, you know, again, kicked up that extra little notch right there. All solid surface countertops to our living area, and I love this island. I love that it's asymmetrical in nature. The sink is not dead in the middle of this thing. And why do I care? Why do I think that's so neat? And the answer is, if you swing around the side here, you see that you've got big cabinet space below the island. You've got all kinds of cabinet space, but it leaves extra little dedicated prep space up here. You don't have to put the sink covers in this island for prep space. You gain an extra little bonus drawer from that result. And you can see the little pop-up power post right there. Whether you need household or USB plugs, you got them on hand. The newer Furrion, you know, front viewing window type stove is a nice little touch too. And then just the fact that they didn't forget the person in the kitchen. Maybe they want to plug in some appliances. Maybe they want to charge a phone or whatever. They take care of that person too. Now right here, this wall that I'm looking at right now, this is where the 317 and the 336 part ways. Moving forward, this is where they split from one another because the 336 has a half bath right here. Well, this floor plan doesn't need it because the bathroom comes before the bedroom as opposed to the 336. But what you're gaining instead is just buku pantry space, crazy storage space. And what I love here, this is something that the Eagle product manager has done for many years. You can see that it's obviously a coat closet. You've got a just simple little piano hinge shelf right there. You can flip that up to get it out of the way to make a coat closet. Or if you don't need that, if you're just going to use your bedroom closet, you've got all this deep, extra delicious storage space to store some delicious food. I am hungry. I just kind of, I'm way too focused on things that are delicious right now. Pantry. Did you notice? We've got motion sensitive lighting on here. I call it the Star Trek lighting. You open the door, it's like, you know, engage light fixture A, activate. Oh, I'd have never made it as an actor. I'd never make it as a lot of things. I'm lucky I landed this job. Anyway. Adjustable pantry shelves too. This is something else they spent a little more money on. That's something you see in some towable RVs, but in a lot of motorized RVs where they let you customize exactly how many shelves you're putting in and where you place them. Now up here, that's tall storage. You're going to need a stool or you're going to have to stand on one of the chairs to get there. But they didn't waste it. They just didn't waste it. They used every ounce of space they possibly could. I think that's pretty great. Now what's kind of interesting is even though this is where this model starts to part ways from the 336, this is actually where it starts to be more like almost all of the other Big Eagles because they have a very, very standardized bedroom and bathroom arrangement. If you've seen any of my videos, you've seen me talk about this bedroom and this bathroom at least a half dozen times, if not more. You've probably heard me talk about the little bathroom LED nightlight up there that, I mean, at night, it really makes this room glow. You've heard me talk about the backlit morning mirror so you don't have to blind yourself. The real tile backsplash that matches the kitchen. You're not being lied to with a false wallpaper. The walk-in shower with recessed plumbing so that the shower pan is the same level as the floor. You don't have to step up into it. You got your corner seat over there. You've got lots of legroom. You've got a foot flush stool. You've even got the same true pocket door. Not a sliding door, but a true latching, locking privacy pocket door here, as you have in like a Pinnacle and a North Point. Kind of cool stuff. The bedroom up here, there are different arrangements. Eagle recently has revised their models to allow for a king bed. And I always welcome feedback, and I'll open up the forum here again. I would love it if people commented on this video and said king, queen, and why. And the problem is I'm getting exactly split 50-50 feedback from folks. So I'm pretty sure that no matter how I build an Eagle, it's wrong. No matter what. So here's the, the take both ways. Like you can see that we've got a queen here. Why did we leave a queen in this? Like I said, it's a 50-50 thing. We left a queen in this because in an Eagle, they give you the queen gives you all this easy, comfortable walk around bed space. But in an Eagle, remember how they spend a little more money in different areas? They actually include and build side stands on here. Those aren't necessarily something that is a necessity, but boy are they handy, especially when you've got power outlets nearby like that. That is a very CPAP-friendly corner stand right there. And if you notice, there's actually even a little pocket down there to get to it. So we left queens in our Eagles this season. Maybe we'll regret it, maybe not, but that's one of the advantages of being very multi-branded here at Haylett RV. What we can get you also, I mean, we could get this in a king bed here in an Eagle, but we also have what's called a 338 RLK Cougar. Basically the same layout. And we'll tend, most of the time, to put a king in those. The reason being, some people want a king bed, but Cougar doesn't typically put in the side stands like Eagle does here. So it kind of gives us the ability to have something for everyone at any time. Remember, the second air conditioner here, two things. First, it's optional. It may not be on the RV that we have in stock. Always, always visit our website or contact our team, because we only advertise what we have, and we do work for accuracy on that. I'm not perfect. I put my pants on 2 legs at a time because I'm weird. But other than that, I'm just like you guys, and I've made mistakes. So just kind of keep that in mind. But we are always happy. If you give our team a call and say, listen, I really need to make sure it's got the second AC, our guys will walk out here. Rain, sleet, snow, we don't care. We'll look in the bedroom. It's not a big deal. So, you know, most of the time at our dealership, anything that has a full bed slide, we're going to put a second AC on for that extra cooling capacity. And remember, again, in an Eagle, when you do that, it's centralized. And it's not just a drop-in air, but it's also a 15,000, not a 13.5 add-on. Things like bedroom TVs, I know a lot of dealers put them in. We have found, if that's going to be the deal breaker for you, I will take a hop, skip, and jump across the street to the big box TV store of your choice and slap a TV in here quicker than you can imagine. I'm not losing a deal over a friggin' flat screen, guys. We're not penny wise and pound foolish in this business. But we've also found so many people like, honey, we've got like 2 TVs we don't even use at the house. Bring it to us. We'll install it. I don't care. But rarely should this ever be anything we got to really stress about. I do like this front closet arrangement. I don't do a good enough job of showing this side of the closet arrangement. Ooh, you got a little toothpick view of me there. So sorry. Lucky you guys. Anyway, I like how they've done this extra shelving space on the side, and you notice how they've got that full shoe rack all the way up in the nose cap hip. Now, this little space, choked on my own words for a second there. This little space right here, that is washer dryer ready. That is going to be set up for one of those combo-matic jobs. Eagles are not friendly to stackables. That's where, in the Jayco family, the North Points, the Pinnacles, the big guys start to come into play. So hopefully you start to understand the difference between that. Normally I would step outside right now, and we'd take a tour of it outdoors, and I'd spend all kinds of time telling you how the outside of this thing is built and put together in the structure. But it's cold, and it's snowing, and it's crappy. So we're just going to do that inside here. I need to switch batteries, then we'll get back to work. All right, thank you for hanging out during the Danger Will Robinson battery swap. Appreciate that. So what are we looking at here? Let's again start from the top down, because right away on a Jayco, when we're up here, there's differences. It's going to start with Jayco's whole Magnum Truss roofing system. This roof is rated for 50% more than the next anybody. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with like a 28 to 3,200 pound rated roof. But Jayco's are rated for 4,800 pounds. And that's true even of their small travel trailers. It's incredible. So what are they doing different? Well, they use thicker roof trusses with heavier duty nail plates to hold the trusses together. They also use tongue and groove plywood roof decking instead of OSB. There's nothing wrong with OSB construction, guys. There's really not. It's okay. They build houses out of OSB. It's all right. But plywood across a span has a greater load capacity, and being tongue and groove, it will tend to weight distribute to an extent, which is how they can have such a greater roof rating up here. Now, Eagle has been for a long time, 0 to 100 degree rated, and Jayco has among the very best cold camp testing data out there that they clearly publish. But what's funny, they don't advertise false R52 roof ratings. Because, frankly, guys, I could tell you this has an R9000 roof. Prove me wrong. You can't. There's no governing body in this industry that governs things like R values. There's no whistleblowers. So, really, people can tell you anything they want. But you know what they can't fake? You know what they can't just say? They can't just provide false testing data, because now they're in a liability standpoint, see? That's what I like about Jayco. They say their roof is an R28. It sounds like less than half of whoever else is out there nowadays. But yet they still have better cold camp ratings. Isn't that amazing? Because they don't publish false data. I just want you to understand that, first of all. I talked about the pocket screwed cabinetry. Let me slide a glove off here. Do the wedding ring test, ladies and gentlemen. They are actually using real wood, real hardwoods here, and that is very different from sticker-wrapped MDF foam. Sticker-wrapped MDF foam does have some advantages. It's less expensive, it's lighter weight, but Jayco's are built stronger to last longer. That's who these guys are. This is not built to be the least expensive, lightest weight unit out there. And if that's what you're looking for, I regret to advise you're looking at the wrong brand. This is designed to be, whether you're first, next, or last, it's designed to be the one that you can keep for as long as you can, provided you provide even just the most basic of routine maintenance. And sometimes people go, well, why would you say that? Well, when you buy the most expensive luxury car, you still got to change fluids and oil and stuff. Everything has a base level of maintenance to it. Again, I kind of mentioned, let me demonstrate here the residential soft close drawers we got going on in these. Now, slide construction. This is something that I think is really cool, and this is where Jayco varies a lot. You can walk up here and you can thump on this and you can feel this is laminated. If an RV does not have a laminated slide wall, that does not mean it's a bad RV. It means that it could be. And you need to go the next step further to learn about what is under the skin. That's the difference here. With a laminated slide wall, it's insulated, it's structural, it's all aluminum skeleton. I know what's in there. I can feel it. I don't have to guess what's under it or take someone's word for it. And that's what's kind of cool about Jayco's slides. This slide box is basically just a miniature eagle. The construction of this slide box mirrors the exact construction of the entire box here. But one thing I like about Jayco is they actually insulate their slide boxes. That's something not every brand does. And they actually do that standard even in the most basic travel trailers. You'll see a layer of double-sided Astrofoil. The double-sided stuff just does an immense job of keeping, the climate-controlled air in your RV in or out, whatever you're looking for. The single-sided foil that I love the phrase hot dog paper because that is exactly what it looks like. It is not a bad material. It's not up to the snuff of the double-sided bubble foil type stuff Jayco's using here. The difference is the single-layer stuff, it's very good for keeping the sun out. And that's what its job is. It'll keep the sun from cooking you, but that's all it's really going to do. So notice not just all LED lighting, but double the LED lighting. They run 2 LED light runs. That's an extra big deal. That's nice stuff. Even the little pendant lights, accent lights, those are also LED. They're full LED. Stove. Obviously that's recessed. I should have set this up, but these come with a bamboo sink cover and a little rollaway cover, drying rack on one side. So we've got a aluminum skeleton floor with your heat run running through it, because we've talked about how that's the most efficient heating method. But we do have a 5/8 ton groove plywood, again, floor decking, so plywood floor and roof. And those are 2 major differences in the Eagle series. Now, one other thing I really want to talk about, and the hardest part is, guys, this is stuff I can't show you. It's under the skin. And that is that in an Eagle, not only are they insulating the roof air wraps all the way around the nose cap, under the gooseneck, the entire bedroom deck that we are on, it itself is fully insulated, and we'll see that when we glance at a pass-through on the outside. When we're looking at the pass-through on the outside, look up in the pass-through, and you will actually see the double-sided thermal foil right there. This entire deck is also self-insulated, so you've got multiple layers and decks here. All are treated like they're their own individual RV. You know, they don't say, well, this is an interior wall, floor, or whatever. It doesn't need extra insulation. BS. That's not what Jayco does. That's why they're a little heavier and more expensive, though, guys. That's the stuff I'm trying to help you understand here. They also do some really interesting structure stuff around the bed slide. We'll talk a little bit about when we get outside. In fact, you know what? I think we're good. Let's just hop out there and do that now. So I've talked a lot about the construction, actually more today than I normally do. But one of the reasons I wanted to is to really drive home the fact of not the what, but the why. The fact that this has twice the warranty. Twice the full coverage warranty, guys. RVs, almost all RVs, have a 1-year warranty. Now, to confuse you, maybe that's not the intent necessarily. I think in certain cases it might be, but in what is a confusing situation, let me phrase it that way. There's 3-year structural warranties out there, and some are great, and some are not. Kind of like the difference between a laminated slide wall and a non-laminated slide wall. You're going to have to look into it a little deeper and learn the differences and learn the details. So here's that insulated upper deck I was telling you about. You can see the heat plenum running through here. You've got dual motion lights on both sides of this monster pass-through, because you get in on both sides of this monster pass-through. You don't get in on just one side. So why is it Eagle is unusual in that it gives you dual entry lights on both sides of the camper, as it were, because they're smarter. Eagle's smarter, and you know, that double warranty is part of that. The smart lighting system is probably one of the best examples of that. So this is equipped with extra side marker and upper, front, and rear clearance lights. When you turn on your turn signal, those extra clearance lights and side lights will blink along with your turn signal. It's super simple, right? I mean, my kid, she's 7, she can understand how it works. But this is a first of its kind. This is an industry first thing in this category, guys. Eagle's the only one that does it. They have an enhanced safety feature here that literally no one else has. Smarter. That's the thing. So you've got both MORryde suspension and pin box. I'm happy with MORryde or EcoFlex. I'm not super partial one way or the other. MORryde is a little bit more money, but it also provides side-to-side shock dampening, not just front to back and up and down. So it does do one thing that the EcoFlex does not. Both systems are fine. They're both great. I like them both better than nothing. If you made me twist my arm, I like the MORryde better, but you're also paying for it. Fully painted nose cap. You can see those beautiful glossy sidewalls. And the color on this is a little deceiving. Like if I kind of get a little bit of a gray coach in the picture right here, it's not champagne, it's not platinum, it's not gray. I call it greige. It's just sort of in between. Automatic leveling, push the button, watch it level itself out. Automatic hitch height memory there. That enclosed docking station is part of what's helping us achieve that Cold Camp proven tested rating. And all of your gate valves and everything, they're heated and enclosed and protected. SantaCon is an upgrade you can throw on these, and it has become very popular very quickly. The customers who have had it have reported they've really enjoyed it because it lets you empty your holding tanks twice as fast. Or I guess you could say in half the time. Either way, it depends on however you want to phrase it. The same thing can be said. It does have a manual bypass. Now, if for some reason we have an Eagle in stock that does not have SantaCon, they are prepped to add it. So that is something that we can do, and we have done here at our facility. We only do everything at Haylett. Hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, everything between. Eagles, standard, come with a 2-inch receiver hitch for things like bike racks on the back. You know why? Because if you decided you wanted to put a bike rack or anything back here on an RV that does not have one of those from the factory, you have no choice but to void your factory warranty to try to find a way to put a bike rack on the back of it. So all these RVs that are advertising 3-year structural warranties, what good is a 3-year structural warranty if you void it? Answer that. Think about that. I mean, it's just common sense. Again, Eagle is smarter. The frameless windows are standard on Big Eagle. They're optional on HTs. Pardon me, advantages both ways. Backup camera, observation camera ready naturally. All LED tail and marker lights. And that's amazing that even RVs that are in higher categories than this still don't have that standard. And Eagle has awesome outside kitchens. They have a full, like a real grill. This Capital Grill burns, you know, hotter than downtown hell. And it's easy to clean. The whole top can pop off. But you've also, when you're not using it, you've got this nice little rolled steel countertop, not the wooden countertops that can sort of get wet and degrade on you. They're outside entertainment friendly, extra storage out here, and even have really nice night lighting out here, which is something I've noticed a lot of outside kitchens do seem to lack, is that good exterior use night lighting. The steps, they're using the nicer aluminum plank steps. I appreciate them on days like today. You can see the snow on those. My feet don't get slippery. They're also using slam or anti-slam doors. And you know, friction hinge door, anti-wind slam type doors. And I think that's one of those things that you can also see how they've really done testing on this, because they're not using magnet latch baggage doors. Did you notice how all the baggage doors on these sides here have been self-strutted? The reason Jayco's not using magnets is because they found that with their higher grade friction hinge door, now they're adjustable, you can crank it up or down, but some people like it really stiff. Well, when it's really stiff, you have to slam like a barbarian that door shut. And that can cause the magnet latches to pop off and fall on someone's head. Jayco's done the testing on that. So they said, okay, until we can find magnets that pass our testing, we're going to strut the doors. I just think it's cool how they put that extra attention to detail there. So if you've appreciated this information, guys, I went way more in depth today than I normally do. Give us a call. Number here is 800-256-5196. We are Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. We are Michigan's largest independent standalone dealer. We've been around since '89, family owned, operated. We just look for the opportunity to work with you. And I don't care where you live. Nobody is too far away to work with us. If you live a long ways away and you watch us and you say, oh, I'm too far to work with them, if you don't call to verify, how do you know? Because if we can't strike something up together, then you know. And that's our fault, not yours. So give us the opportunity. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Our records show that. Take care, stay safe, have fun. Happy camping, everyone.